Hello, everyone. I just got done with my second day of week 2, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about the first day of week 1. So Monday, I didn't really have a class, and it was like not mandatory, but they were like, go. You know what I mean? So I went to that, and it was just kind of like a tour around the kitchen, and they gave us kind of like the base of like what we have to do, what we'll be looking forward to for the next day. And then the next day we got in class. I I got to the cafeteria area at 6:30, and I was down in the kitchen at like 6:35. um, and maybe 6:40, and then I went in the kitchen and we set up we set up all of our stations, how they need to be set up. And that day was another kind of just like this is where everything's at. We did do knife cuts that day. We cut onions into small dice. And then we did no, not small dice. That was the next day. We cut onions, tomato, and celery into like mirepoix size. So a mirepoix is like the base for stocks and stuff. So in stocks, when you make a stock, you have like meat bones that cook in there, and you cook them for water, and then you add mirepoix. So mirepoix, onion, celery, and carrots. And so you add that in. And so we made a white veal stock on the first day. And so you cook it, you skim off the scum off the top, and you add in the mirepoix, which is what we cut that day. I do not have any pictures of that. I don't have any pictures of anything the first week, for that matter. But I have pictures the second week. Don't worry. And then the next day, we made a broth with that. So that day, it was just the white veal stock. There was really nothing more. We just made the stock, and then we did the cutting, and that was really it. We made sachets too, which is just like a seasoning, a bunch of seasonings, a bay leaf, thyme, peppercorn, into a cheesecloth, and then that goes in the stock with the mirepoix as it cooks. And then the next day, we made a broth with the stock, and so all the broth really is you get the stock and you add meat to the stock, and then you let that cook for a long time to just get all the flavor out of the meat into the stock, and then you also add another pound of mirepoix or so, and you let that cook in another sachet, and so then we made the broth, and then we also did knife cut trays, which are basically like what he judges our knife cut skills on. And so in our knife cut tray, we had celery root and rhubarb and I don't even remember, turnips and carrots and onions, and I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, and we had parsley also. And then we had another sachet, or another 2 sachets, I believe. So then, and then we did setups. So what kind of happens is, like, at the end of our second day, we make tray setups for the next class the next day, and then at the end of their second day, they make a tray for us on the first day, if that makes sense. So it's kind of just like a rotation of like stuff. And then that would have been Wednesday that we made the broth. So then on Thursday was my first academic class, and so my first academic class is food safety, and we learn all about the bacteria that can grow and what can happen if you can't if you like leave something at a certain temperature and whatnot, and like how stuff like cross contamination is important, because like salmonella, everyone knows like salmonella grows in eggs, and like can be in eggs and in chicken, okay? But if the chicken touches peanut butter, the salmonella can live in the peanut butter for weeks. So like that was something interesting that I found out that I was just and then my next class is professionalism and life skills. And we in that class we kind of just like got a base of everything, and like this is what we're gonna learn and stuff like that. And then the next class is math, and we have it all on the computer what we like have to do for that class, so that's kind of cool. And everything's on the computer of what we have to do, so it's kind of just like easy things to know, I guess. I don't know. And it's just like, I don't know, it makes it easier that it's all of our problems and everything is on the computer. And then my next class is writing, and we just kind of did a free write, and then at the end of our free write, she sent us home to write a 700 word or 700 minimum word essay, kind of going off of an article and also off of our free write. And that was due the next day. So Friday, it was kind of just a repeat. We learned a little bit of in-depth more about different things in each class that I'm not going to go over in full. And then, I'm trying to think. And then after that was my Friday, and I went home and I went camping this weekend with a friend. I didn't go home. I went back to my dorm. I went camping this weekend with my friend, and I got back Sunday afternoon, and on Monday we had our first science lecture, which was kind of cool. And then today we actually made beef vegetable stew, or beef vegetable soup, and we used a lot of the things that we had to cut the previous days, which is kind of cool. I'll go into more detail about that in the next video. So yeah, my plan for this week, like not during class, is I'm gonna go back to the Learning Strategy Center. I've been spending a lot of time there doing my homework, because it's easier to do it with people who all need to do their homework and all concentrating on it, and also people who have done it before. So yeah, with the tutors it's really helpful. I'm gonna go more knife cut tutoring, because I've improved, but I still have a lot more to go. So yeah, bye, see you next video.